star traveler. Before we begin tonight's journey through the universe, tell me, where in the world are you listening from right now? And what time is it there? Maybe it's already deep into the night, or perhaps you're just winding down after a long day. However your day went, I truly hope it brought you peace. And if not, I hope these stories can help ease your mind. Take a deep breath. Let it all go. There's nothing left to do now. Just listen. Just drift. Thank you for being here. If you enjoy this space to rest, reflect, and dream, your quiet support helps keep it alive. Now, let's begin. The Penrose Reactor. Harvesting energy from a rotating black hole. A sleep story through the heart of a cosmic forge. In the vast cathedral of space, where silence reigns supreme and starlight paints gentle brushstrokes across the cosmic canvas, there exists a marvel that defies both imagination and the very fabric of reality itself. The Penrose Reactor stands as a testament to the boundless ingenuity of civilizations that once gazed upon the universe with eyes far older than our own. This is not merely a machine, but a cosmic forge where the fundamental forces of existence bend to serve a purpose both elegant and profound. The concept emerges from the deepest principles of general relativity, where space and time weave together in a dance as old as the universe itself. Around the most extreme objects in the cosmos, rotating black holes, the very geometry of space-time twists and flows like honey stirred by an invisible hand. In these regions, called ergospheres, the fabric of reality itself is dragged along by the spinning mass, creating pockets where energy might be harvested from the rotation of these cosmic giants. This story unfolds in the quiet depths of space, where an ancient structure circles a black hole in eternal vigilance. The Penrose Reactor represents humanity's deepest dreams of cosmic engineering, a bridge between the theoretical and the tangible, between the equations that describe our universe and the technologies that might one day allow us to harness its most fundamental powers. As we drift through this tale, let the gentle hum of gravitational waves and the soft glow of harvested energy guide the mind toward rest, toward the peaceful contemplation of our place in this infinite cosmos. Chapter 1. The Discovery. Far beyond the edge of human sight, where the last whispers of familiar constellations fade into the cosmic deep, a structure awaits discovery. The journey begins not with the thunder of rockets or the harsh glare of search beams, but with the gentle persistence of radio telescopes listening to the universe's most subtle songs. For decades, astronomers have detected an anomaly, a pattern in the gravitational waves that ripple through space-time like echoes in a vast, dark ocean. The signal originates from a region where space itself seems to bend with unusual precision around a black hole of extraordinary mass. This is not the chaotic violence typically associated with such objects, but something far more ordered, almost orchestrated. The gravitational signature speaks of artificial structures, of engineering on a scale that dwarfs the grandest human ambitions. The waves carry within them the rhythm of vast machinery, the pulse of technology that has operated in silence for eons. As observation instruments turn toward this distant realm, the first images reveal something unprecedented. Surrounding the black hole, at a distance where space begins to twist and flow with the object's rotation, delicate rings of light trace perfect circles against the star-filled void. These are not the violent accretion disks of consuming matter, but controlled structures that glow with a soft blue-white radiance. The light follows patterns too regular to be natural, too purposeful to be accidental. The black hole itself spins with tremendous velocity, its rotation dragging the very fabric of space-time along with it. This creates a region known as the ergosphere, where the normal rules of physics take on a dreamlike quality. Within this zone, particles and light rays are swept along by the rotating spacetime, unable to remain stationary relative to distant observers. It is here, in this strange realm between the event horizon and the outer universe, that the ancient engineers chose to build their cosmic forge. The structure reveals itself slowly, like a photograph developing in the darkness. Massive rings of exotic matter circle the black hole in carefully calculated orbits, each one positioned to extract maximum energy from the spinning giant. These rings are not solid metal or stone, but constructions of crystallized spacetime itself, held in place by forces that humanity is only beginning to understand. They pulse with their own internal light, a soft phosphorescence that speaks of energy being converted and stored on an unimaginable scale. Between the rings, connecting structures span the void like the spokes of a cosmic wheel. These appear to be conduits of some kind, channels through which the harvested energy flows toward collection points and storage facilities. The entire apparatus operates in perfect silence, its only sound, the deep gravitational hum that propagates through space-time itself, a bass note too low for human ears, but felt in the bones of the universe. The discovery sends waves of wonder and contemplation through the scientific community. Here is proof that intelligence can reach beyond the confines of planetary surfaces, beyond the limitations of single star systems, to engage with the universe's most fundamental forces. The Penrose Reactor stands as a lighthouse in the cosmic dark, a beacon that announces the presence of minds capable of thinking on scales that stretch the imagination. As the first detailed surveys begin, patterns emerge that suggest the structure is not merely functional, but beautiful. The rings are positioned with mathematical precision, their spacing following ratios that appear in the deepest equations of physics. The connecting structures form geometric patterns that seem to serve no utilitarian purpose, suggesting that the builders possessed not only tremendous engineering capability, but also an aesthetic sense that found beauty in the marriage of form and function. The energy extraction process itself becomes visible through sophisticated instruments. Streams of particles enter the ergosphere from the outer rings, following precisely calculated trajectories that allow them to gain energy from the black hole's rotation before escaping back to the collection apparatus. This is the Penrose process made manifest, a theoretical concept transformed into working reality by minds that understood the universe's deepest secrets. Now, close your eyes and picture how all of this might look. The gentle rings of light circling their dark companion, the soft blue glow of energy being harvested from the very rotation of space-time itself, the profound silence broken only by the deep, resonant hum of gravity waves washing over the cosmic forge like the breathing of a sleeping giant. Chapter 2: The Architecture of Infinity. The Penrose Reactor reveals its true magnificence as observation instruments peer deeper into its structure. What appeared from a distance as simple rings of light resolves into a complex ecosystem of interconnected components, each serving a specific purpose in the grand design of energy extraction. The architecture speaks of minds that thought not in terms of years or decades, but in geological epochs, designing structures meant to operate for millions of years without maintenance or intervention. The innermost ring orbits closest to the black hole's event horizon, where the gravitational field reaches its maximum intensity. Here, The very atoms of the construction material must be held together by forces beyond conventional physics. The ring appears to be composed of exotic matter material, with properties that allow it to exist in the extreme environment where space and time bend toward infinity. Its surface ripples with patterns of energy that flow like aurora across its circumference, each wave carrying power extracted from the black hole's rotation. Moving outward, successive rings operate at different energy levels, like the multiple stages of a cosmic power plant. Each ring is precisely positioned to take advantage of specific orbital mechanics, where particles can be accelerated to incredible speeds by the frame-dragging effect of the rotating spacetime. The process requires exquisite timing and positioning. Even the slightest miscalculation would send the entire system spiraling into chaos. The connecting structures between rings serve as more than mere conduits for energy transfer. They appear to be processing stations where the raw power extracted from the ergosphere is converted into forms suitable for storage and transmission. Some of these structures pulse with rhythmic patterns that suggest active computation, as if the reactor is constantly monitoring and adjusting its own operation. The lights that flow along these connections follow paths that seem almost organic, like the circulation of energy through a vast artificial nervous system. At the outermost edge of the reactor complex, massive collection arrays gather the processed energy and focus it toward unknown destinations. These structures are oriented not toward the black hole, but outward into space, suggesting that the reactor's purpose extends far beyond local energy production. The arrays appear capable of beaming concentrated power across interstellar distances, perhaps feeding a network of similar installations scattered throughout the galaxy. The scale of the construction becomes apparent when compared to familiar objects. The innermost ring alone possesses a diameter larger than the orbit of Earth around the Sun. The outer collection arrays span distances that would encompass entire solar systems. Yet despite this immense scale, every component appears to be positioned with atomic precision, suggesting a level of engineering control that transcends anything in human experience. Between the major structures, smaller components drift in carefully maintained orbits. These appear to be maintenance systems or monitoring stations, though their exact purpose remains mysterious. Some emit pulses of light that seem to communicate with the main rings, while others simply drift in silence. Their surface is dark, except for the reflected glow of the energy streams that flow past them. The reactor's operation creates its own environment, a pocket of space where the laws of physics manifest in ways not seen anywhere else in the universe. The intense gravitational fields bend light into perfect circles, creating optical illusions where distant stars appear to dance in impossible patterns. The frame-dragging effect of the black hole's rotation creates currents in space-time itself, visible as subtle distortions in the background starfield. Most remarkably, the entire system appears to be self-regulating. As energy output fluctuates, the rings adjust their positions with fluid grace, maintaining optimal efficiency despite the chaotic nature of the environment. This suggests not merely sophisticated engineering, but a level of artificial intelligence capable of operating in conditions that would overwhelm any conventional computer system. The materials used in construction defy easy categorization. Some surfaces appear to be composed of crystallized gravity itself, structures that exist more as geometric arrangements of space-time than as conventional matter. Others seem to be made from exotic particles that exist only in the extreme conditions near black holes, held stable by technologies that humanity can barely imagine. The aesthetic choices embedded in the design become more apparent with detailed study. The rings are not merely functional circles, but are decorated with patterns that serve no obvious engineering purpose. Some sections display spiral arrangements that echo the structure of galaxies, while others feature geometric designs that seem to reference fundamental mathematical constants. The builders clearly possessed not only the technical capability to construct such a device, but also the artistic vision to make it beautiful. If this gentle vision of the cosmos soothes the mind, consider resting here more often. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments, a quiet echo beneath the stars. Chapter 3: The Dance of Spacetime. Within the ergosphere of the rotating black hole, space-time itself becomes a participant in the cosmic ballet of energy extraction. This region, extending from the event horizon to the edge of the Penrose Reactor's influence, represents a realm where the familiar concepts of space and time take on fluid, almost liquid properties. Here, the very geometry of existence is dragged along by the black hole's rotation, creating a vortex in the fabric of reality that the ancient engineers learned to navigate with extraordinary precision. The frame-dragging effect, predicted by Einstein's equations but made manifest here on a scale beyond terrestrial comprehension, creates currents in spacetime that flow like rivers of pure geometry. These currents are invisible to the naked eye, but reveal themselves through their effects on light and matter. Photons entering the ergosphere find their paths twisted and bent, forced to follow the rotation of the black hole whether they wish to or not. This dragging of light itself creates opportunities for energy extraction that exist nowhere else in the universe. The Penrose process, the theoretical foundation upon which the reactor operates, unfolds here in its full glory. Particles launched from the outer rings follow trajectories that take them deep into the ergosphere, where they split into two components through carefully controlled interactions. One component falls toward the black hole, carrying negative energy that effectively reduces the black hole's mass and rotational energy. The other component escapes back to the collection apparatus, carrying away more energy than was originally invested in the process. This violation of what appears to be conservation of energy is not a violation at all, but rather a profound illustration of the universe's deeper symmetries. The energy extracted does not come from nothing. It comes from the rotation of the black hole itself, slowly spinning down the cosmic giant while powering the reactor's operations. The process is so efficient that the black hole could power the reactor for billions of years before its rotation slowed to a level where energy extraction became impossible. The rings of the reactor are positioned to take maximum advantage of these space-time currents. Each ring occupies a specific orbital zone where the frame-dragging effect creates optimal conditions for particle acceleration and energy extraction. The innermost ring operates in a region where space-time flows at nearly the speed of light, creating conditions where matter can be accelerated to relativistic velocities with minimal energy input. As particles spiral inward through the ergosphere, they gain energy from the rotating spacetime itself. The process resembles a cosmic surfboard rider catching waves in an ocean of curved geometry. The particles' paths are bent and twisted by the gravitational currents, but skilled navigation allows them to extract energy from these very distortions. The ancient engineers understood these principles with mathematical precision, designing trajectories that maximize energy gain while minimizing the risk of particles falling past the point of no return. The visual effect of these processes creates a spectacular display that would dazzle any observer. Streams of accelerated particles spiral through the ergosphere like luminous tornadoes, their paths traced in brilliant colors as they interact with the magnetic fields generated by the reactor's operation. The light itself is red-shifted and blue-shifted as it climbs out of the gravitational well, creating rainbow patterns that shift and flow like aurora in the cosmic wind. The reactor's operation creates standing waves in space-time itself, gravitational ripples that propagate outward at the speed of light. These waves carry information about the energy extraction process, encoding in their frequency and amplitude the precise details of the reactor's operation. To sufficiently sensitive instruments, the entire galaxy would ring like a bell with the harmonics of the Penrose Reactor's cosmic symphony. The mathematics governing these processes are beautiful in their elegant simplicity. The equations that describe particle trajectories in the ergosphere are the same ones that govern the motion of planets around stars, scaled up to relativistic velocities and extreme gravitational fields. The energy extraction efficiency can be calculated precisely, revealing that under optimal conditions, the process can extract up to 29% of the black hole's rotational energy, enough to power entire civilizations for cosmic ages. The reactor's designers demonstrated their mastery of these principles by creating a system that operates at near-theoretical efficiency. Every component is positioned to within microscopic tolerances, ensuring that the complex dance of particles and space-time unfolds with clockwork precision. The result is a machine that extracts energy from the universe's most fundamental forces with an elegance that borders on the poetic. Within the ergosphere, time itself becomes a tangible commodity. The extreme gravitational fields create time dilation effects that would allow observers near the reactor to experience time differently than those in the outer universe. The ancient engineers may have used these effects to their advantage, creating temporal reference frames that allowed for unprecedented precision in controlling the energy extraction process. Now, close your eyes and picture this cosmic dance. The flowing currents of space-time visible as distortions in the starfield, the brilliant streams of particles spiraling through dimensions of curved geometry, the gentle pulse of gravitational waves carrying the rhythm of the universe's deepest machinery across the infinite dark. Chapter 4. The Whispers of Ancient Engineers. The Penrose Reactor bears the unmistakable signature of intelligence that transcends not only human capability, but human comprehension. As detailed analysis reveals the system's intricate design principles, questions arise about the nature of the minds that conceived and constructed such a marvel. The engineering tolerances required for the reactor's operation suggest a level of precision that approaches the theoretical limits of what physics allows, implying builders who possessed not merely advanced technology, but fundamental insights into the universe's deepest structures. The mathematical elegance embedded in the reactor's design speaks of aesthetics as much as function. The spacing between rings follows ratios that appear throughout nature. The golden ratio, pi, and the fine structure constant all make their appearances in the architecture's proportions. These choices were not dictated by engineering necessity, but by a sense of beauty that found expression in the marriage of form and cosmic function. The builders were not merely engineers, but cosmic artists, creating a structure that would inspire wonder for eons after their disappearance. Evidence of the builder's sophistication appears in the reactor's adaptive systems. The structure continuously monitors its own operation, adjusting ring positions and energy extraction rates in response to fluctuations in the black hole's rotation and the surrounding gravitational environment. This requires computational capabilities that exceed anything in human experience, suggesting the presence of artificial intelligences that operate on timescales measured in geological epochs. The construction materials provide another window into the builder's technological mastery. Some components appear to be made from matter that exists only in the extreme conditions near black holes, strange quarks, and exotic particles, stabilized by technologies that humanity can barely conceptualize. Other sections seem to be constructed from crystallized spacetime itself, geometric arrangements of pure gravity that maintain their structure through principles that transcend conventional physics. The reactor's power output suggests a civilization that operated on scales that dwarf human ambition. The energy harvested from the black hole's rotation could power entire star systems, supporting populations that number in the trillions. Yet the reactor appears to be just one component in a larger network, with its collection arrays oriented toward distant regions of the galaxy where similar installations might exist. The builders may have constructed a galactic power grid, linking black holes across the spiral arms in a vast web of energy distribution. The absence of the builders themselves raises profound questions about the nature of intelligence and civilization. The reactor shows no signs of recent maintenance or modification, suggesting that it has operated autonomously for millions or even billions of years. This longevity implies either that the builders achieved a form of technological immortality or that they designed the reactor to outlast their own existence. The structure serves as both a monument to their achievements and a tomb for their memory. Subtle patterns in the reactor's operation suggest the presence of hidden messages or information storage systems. The timing of energy pulses follows sequences that appear to encode mathematical constants and physical laws, as if the builders intended to leave a curriculum for any civilization advanced enough to detect and study their creation. The reactor may serve not only as a power source, but as a cosmic textbook, teaching the principles of advanced physics through its very operation. The scale of the construction project itself speaks to the builder's organizational capabilities. The reactor would have required the coordinated efforts of countless individuals over periods that exceed human lifespans. The logistics of positioning components with atomic precision across distances measured in astronomical units represents a feat of project management that challenges the imagination. The builders must have possessed not only advanced technology, but social structures capable of maintaining focus and coordination across vast timescales. The reactor's design reveals an intimate understanding of the universe's fundamental forces. The builders clearly grasped principles that humanity is only beginning to discover, manipulating gravity, space-time, and exotic matter with the same ease that humans manipulate simple machines. Their technology appears to be based on a unified understanding of physics that bridges the gap between quantum mechanics and general relativity, suggesting access to a theory of everything that remains beyond human reach. The aesthetic choices embedded in the reactor's design hint at the builder's philosophical outlook. The structure's beauty serves no functional purpose, but reveals minds that found profound meaning in the harmony between mathematics and physical reality. The builders may have seen themselves not as conquerors of nature, but as participants in a cosmic symphony, adding their voices to the fundamental frequencies that govern the universe's operation. The reactor's position around the black hole represents a choice that speaks to the builders' courage and vision. They chose to work in the most extreme environment in the universe, where the slightest miscalculation could destroy their entire civilization. This suggests not only supreme confidence in their abilities, but a willingness to risk everything in pursuit of their goals. The reactor stands as a testament to the builders' refusal to accept limitations, their determination to push the boundaries of what intelligence can achieve. The silence that surrounds the reactor adds to its mystery. No radio signals, no infrared emissions, no signs of ongoing activity beyond the energy extraction process itself. The builders appear to have vanished as completely as if they had never existed, leaving only their greatest achievement to mark their passage through the cosmos. The reactor operates in solitude, a cosmic lighthouse whose builders have long since sailed beyond the horizon of history. If this gentle vision of the cosmos soothes the mind, consider resting here more often. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments, a quiet echo beneath the stars. Chapter 5. The Gravitational Symphony. The Penrose Reactor does not operate in silence. Though the vacuum of space prevents the transmission of sound waves, the structure generates its own form of music through the medium of spacetime itself. Gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of reality, carry the reactor's rhythm across the cosmos at the speed of light. These waves encode the precise details of the energy extraction process, creating a gravitational symphony that has played without interruption for eons. The primary frequency of this cosmic music emerges from the orbital motion of the reactor's rings around the black hole. Each ring contributes its own harmonic to the overall composition, with frequencies determined by the precise orbital parameters chosen by the ancient engineers. The innermost ring, orbiting closest to the event horizon, generates the highest frequency components, while the outer collection arrays contribute deep bass notes that resonate through the galactic medium. The gravitational waves themselves are invisible to human senses, but can be detected by sufficiently sensitive instruments. They manifest as periodic compressions and expansions in space-time, stretching and squeezing the very dimensions of existence with amplitudes measured in fractions of atomic nuclei. Yet these tiny distortions carry enormous amounts of information, encoding the reactor's operational parameters with precision that exceeds any human communication system. The wave patterns reveal the exquisite balance maintained by the reactor's control systems. Fluctuations in the black hole's rotation create variations in the gravitational field that could destabilize the entire structure. The reactor responds to these changes with adjustments so subtle and rapid that they appear almost biological in their fluid grace. The gravitational waves carry the signature of this constant adaptation, a complex rhythm that speaks of intelligence operating at the speed of thought. The interaction between the reactor's gravitational field and the black hole's rotation creates interference patterns that generate new frequencies through a process analogous to the beating of tuning forks. These combination tones add richness and complexity to the gravitational symphony, creating harmonies that would be impossible to achieve through any single source. The ancient engineers may have deliberately tuned their structure to produce these harmonic relationships, finding beauty in the mathematical precision of the resulting music. The propagation of gravitational waves through the cosmos creates a kind of cosmic sonar system. As the waves encounter other massive objects, stars, planets, even other black holes, they reflect and refract, returning to their origin with information about the structure of the galaxy itself. The reactor may serve not only as a power source, but as a gravitational observatory, using its own emissions to map the distribution of matter throughout the local cosmic neighborhood. The energy carried by the gravitational waves represents only a tiny fraction of the reactor's total output, but over cosmic timescales, even this small loss becomes significant. The ancient engineers would have calculated this energy drain with precision, factoring it into their long-term operational plans. The gradual spiral of the reactor's components toward the black hole, driven by gravitational wave emission, may have been an intended feature of the design, ensuring that the structure would eventually return to its source in a final act of cosmic recycling. The frequency spectrum of the gravitational waves reveals the reactor's internal structure with remarkable clarity. Different components contribute characteristic signatures that allow observers to map the system's architecture from vast distances. The particle acceleration chambers generate rapid-fire bursts of high-frequency waves, while the energy storage systems produce steady, low-frequency emissions that speak of vast reservoirs of captured power. The reactor's gravitational music interacts with the natural rhythms of the cosmos in ways that create unexpected harmonies. The rotation of nearby stars, the orbital motion of planet systems, even the expansion of the universe itself contribute their own frequencies to the cosmic symphony. The reactor's emissions blend with these natural sources to create a composition of staggering complexity and beauty, a musical work that encompasses the entire galaxy as its performance venue. The temporal structure of the gravitational waves reveals patterns that suggest encoded information beyond simple operational parameters. Sequences of wave bursts appear to follow mathematical progressions that reference fundamental constants and physical laws. The ancient engineers may have embedded their knowledge directly into the reactor's operational cycle, creating a library of information that broadcasts continuously across the cosmos. The reactor's gravitational emissions create subtle effects throughout the surrounding star system. Planets and asteroids experience tiny perturbations in their orbits, while the interstellar medium itself is stirred by the passage of the waves. These effects are so small as to be virtually undetectable, yet they represent the reactor's influence extending far beyond its immediate vicinity, marking the entire region with the signature of its presence. The phase relationships between different wave components reveal the extraordinary precision of the reactor's control systems. The ancient engineers synchronized their structure's operation with timing accuracy that approaches the limits of physical possibility. The gravitational waves carry this precision across interstellar distances, allowing distant observers to appreciate the supreme technical achievement represented by the reactor's flawless operation. The reactor's gravitational symphony serves as a beacon for other advanced civilizations, a signal that announces the presence of intelligence capable of manipulating the universe's fundamental forces. The waves carry enough information to allow reverse engineering of the reactor's basic principles, suggesting that the builders intended their creation to serve as a teaching tool for any civilization advanced enough to detect and analyze the gravitational emissions. Now, close your eyes and listen to the universe's deepest music, the gravitational waves washing over the cosmos like the breathing of some vast entity, carrying rhythms that speak of intelligence beyond human comprehension, harmonies that bind the reactor to the fundamental frequencies of existence itself. Chapter 6. The Ergosphere Gardens. Between the reactor's massive rings, in the spaces where space-time flows like a river of pure geometry, the ancient engineers created something unexpected, gardens of exotic matter that bloom with their own strange beauty. These are not gardens in any terrestrial sense, but carefully cultivated regions where the extreme conditions of the ergosphere allow for the existence of matter and energy configurations that would be impossible anywhere else in the universe. The garden regions appear as networks of crystalline structures that grow from the intersection points of the reactor's support framework. These formations are composed of matter that exists in states beyond the conventional categories of solid, liquid, and gas. Some sections display properties that seem to phase between dimensions, existing partially in normal space and partially in the higher dimensional structures that govern the reactor's operation. The structures themselves pulse with bioluminescent patterns that follow the rhythms of the energy extraction process. As particles spiral through the ergosphere, their passage triggers cascades of light that flow through the crystalline networks like neural signals through a vast brain. The patterns are not random but follow mathematical sequences that suggest active computation occurring within the garden structures themselves. The exotic matter gardens serve multiple purposes within the reactor's operation. They act as buffer zones that smooth the flow of energy between different extraction stages, preventing the kind of catastrophic resonances that could destroy the entire structure. They also appear to function as information storage systems, encoding the reactor's operational history in the crystalline matrix of their construction. The gardens contain structures that defy easy description, formations that seem to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Some appear as spiraling towers that twist through spaces that normal matter cannot access, while others manifest as geometric patterns that seem to reference the fundamental structure of space-time itself. The ancient engineers appear to have used the extreme conditions of the ergosphere to create art forms that transcend the limitations of conventional physics. The life cycles of the garden structures follow patterns that span thousands of years. New formations grow from seed patterns embedded in the reactor's framework, developing through stages that mirror the growth of living organisms. Mature structures eventually decay and are recycled into new configurations, ensuring that the gardens remain in constant but controlled flux. The entire process appears to be guided by principles that blur the line between organic growth and artificial design. The interaction between the garden structures and the reactor's energy extraction process creates feedback loops that enhance the overall efficiency of the system. The exotic matter formations channel and focus the streams of accelerated particles, creating conditions that allow for more precise control of the extraction process. The gardens serve as both decorative elements and functional components, embodying the builder's integration of aesthetics and engineering. The gardens generate their own ecosystem of phenomena that exist nowhere else in the universe. Clouds of exotic particles drift between the crystalline structures, following currents created by the interaction of gravitational and electromagnetic fields. These particle clouds sometimes organize themselves into patterns that seem to display primitive forms of collective behavior, as if the extreme conditions of the ergosphere allow for the emergence of new forms of organization. The mathematical principles governing the garden's growth patterns reveal deep insights into the nature of complexity and emergence. The structures develop according to rules that seem to bridge the gap between quantum mechanics and general relativity, suggesting that the ancient engineers possessed a unified theory of physics that allowed them to predict and control the behavior of matter under extreme conditions. The garden's influence extends beyond their immediate vicinity, affecting the flow of space-time itself in ways that enhance the reactor's operation. The crystalline structures act as gravitational lenses that focus and redirect the currents of frame-dragged spacetime, creating more efficient pathways for energy extraction. The effect is subtle but measurable, contributing to the reactor's overall efficiency in ways that purely mechanical systems could not achieve. The aesthetic impact of the gardens cannot be overstated. Their alien beauty creates a sense of wonder that transcends purely functional considerations. The ancient engineers clearly intended these structures to be contemplated and appreciated, embedding artistic principles into their design that speak to universal concepts of harmony and proportion. The gardens serve as a bridge between the technical and the transcendent, transforming the reactor from a mere machine into a work of cosmic art. The gardens appear to be self-maintaining, with repair and renewal processes that operate automatically without external intervention. Damaged structures are dissolved and rebuilt according to templates stored in the crystalline matrix, ensuring that the gardens maintain their functionality over geological timescales. The process suggests a level of technological sophistication that approaches the boundary between engineering and magic. The information encoded in the garden structures may represent the builder's greatest legacy. The crystalline matrices appear to contain vast databases of scientific knowledge, philosophical insights, and cultural artifacts that preserve the builder's intellectual achievements for future civilizations to discover. The gardens serve as libraries written in the language of exotic matter, accessible only to those who have achieved sufficient understanding of the universe's fundamental principles. The garden's response to the reactor's operational cycles creates a kind of mechanical breathing that gives the entire structure an organic quality. As energy extraction rates fluctuate, the gardens expand and contract in rhythm with the process, creating visual patterns that seem to pulse with life. This breathing effect extends to the gravitational wave emissions, adding organic rhythms to the cosmic symphony that the reactor broadcasts across the galaxy. If this gentle vision of the cosmos soothes the mind, consider resting here more often. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments, a quiet echo beneath the stars. Chapter 7. The Convergence of Infinity. At the heart of the Penrose Reactor, where the innermost ring orbits just beyond the point of no return, the full majesty of the ancient engineer's achievement becomes apparent. Here, in the space between the event horizon and the edge of conventional reality, the reactor's control systems perform their most delicate and crucial function. The precise management of energy extraction from the black hole's rotation, while maintaining the structure's stability in the face of gravitational forces that could tear apart entire star systems. The innermost ring operates in a realm where the normal concepts of space and time become fluid and negotiable. The extreme gravitational gradient creates tidal forces that would stretch any conventional material beyond its breaking point, yet the ring maintains its perfect circular geometry through the application of technologies that seem to manipulate the fundamental constants of physics themselves. The structure appears to be held together not by molecular bonds, but by the controlled application of forces that operate at the level of space-time geometry. The energy extraction process reaches its peak efficiency in this region, where the frame-dragging effect of the black hole's rotation approaches its maximum intensity. Particles launched from the ring's surface are accelerated to velocities that approach the speed of light within distances measured in kilometers. The precision required to control such processes staggers the imagination, requiring timing accuracy measured in fractions of nanoseconds and positional control accurate to subatomic scales. The visual spectacle of the innermost ring's operation defies description in conventional terms. Streams of particles spiral inward toward the event horizon, their paths traced in brilliant lines of light. that seem to bend and twist through dimensions beyond the normal three of space. The Doppler shifting of the light as particles accelerate creates rainbow patterns that flow like liquid fire around the ring's circumference, while the gravitational lensing effect of the black hole creates multiple images of the same phenomena, as if reality itself were reflecting in a cosmic hall of mirrors. The ring's interaction with the black hole's magnetic field generates phenomena that blur the line between physics and art. Plasma streams ejected from the ring's surface follow the magnetic field lines, creating structures that resemble vast sculptures composed of pure energy. These formations extend outward from the ring for thousands of kilometers, their shapes constantly evolving as the magnetic field configuration changes in response to the ring's operation. The information processing requirements of the innermost ring's control systems approach the theoretical limits of what computation can achieve. The ancient engineers appear to have created artificial intelligences that operate directly within the fabric of space-time itself, using the extreme conditions near the event horizon to perform calculations that would be impossible under normal circumstances. These AI systems monitor billions of parameters simultaneously, making adjustments to the energy extraction process with response times measured in fractions of milliseconds. The ring's construction materials represent the pinnacle of the builder's technological achievement. Some sections appear to be made from exotic matter with negative energy density, allowing them to exist in regions where normal matter would be crushed by gravitational forces. Other components seem to be constructed from crystallized, strong nuclear force, held together by bonds that operate at the level of quarks and gluons. The resulting structures possess properties that seem to violate conventional physics while actually representing the ultimate expression of natural laws operating under extreme conditions. The energy output of the innermost ring alone exceeds the power production of entire star systems. The ancient engineers have learned to tap directly into the rotational energy of the black hole, extracting power from the spinning space-time itself. The process is so efficient that the ring could theoretically operate for billions of years before the black hole's rotation slowed to a level where energy extraction became impossible. The ring's operation creates standing waves in the fabric of space-time that propagate outward through the entire reactor structure. These waves carry information about the extraction process, allowing the outer rings to synchronize their operations with the innermost ring's rhythm. The result is a kind of mechanical telepathy that binds the entire reactor into a unified system capable of responding to changing conditions with the fluidity of a living organism. The philosophical implications of the innermost ring's operation reach beyond mere technical achievement. The ancient engineers have created a structure that extracts energy from the universe's most fundamental forces, tapping into the rotational energy of space-time itself. This represents not merely an engineering accomplishment but a form of cosmic alchemy, transforming the geometry of existence into usable power. The ring's presence so close to the event horizon creates temporal effects that would allow observers to experience time dilation on a massive scale. The ancient engineers may have used these effects to their advantage, creating reference frames that allowed them to observe and control the energy extraction process with unprecedented precision. The ring exists in a twilight zone between time and eternity, where the normal flow of causality becomes negotiable. The innermost ring serves as the focal point for the reactor's gravitational wave emissions, generating the fundamental frequency that gives the entire structure its characteristic signature. The waves produced by the ring's operation carry information about the black hole's internal structure, providing insights into the nature of matter and energy. under the most extreme conditions imaginable. The ring serves as both a power source and a cosmic observatory, using its proximity to the event horizon to probe the deepest secrets of the universe. Now, close your eyes and imagine standing at the edge of forever, the innermost ring spinning in its eternal dance with infinity, streams of light bending through dimensions beyond human comprehension, the gentle hum of gravitational waves carrying the rhythm of extraction across the cosmos as space-time itself yields its energy to the vision of the ancient engineers. Chapter 8. The Eternal Watch. In the outer reaches of the Penrose Reactor complex, beyond the brilliant rings and energy streams, sentinel structures maintain their eternal vigil over the cosmic forge. These monitoring stations drift in carefully calculated orbits, their dark surfaces absorbing the soft glow of the reactor's operation, while their sensors peer into the deepest mysteries of space-time itself. They are the reactor's eyes and ears, the silent guardians that ensure the continued operation of humanity's most profound discovery. The sentinel structures appear as geometric forms that seem to shift and change depending on the observer's perspective. Some manifest as crystalline polyhedrons that reflect the reactor's light in patterns that encode information about the system's operational status. Others resemble organic growths that pulse with their own internal rhythms, their surfaces covered with sensor arrays that monitor every aspect of the reactor's performance. These are not mere machines, but extensions of the reactor's consciousness, artificial minds that think in terms of geological time. The monitoring systems operated by the sentinels represent an achievement in observational science that surpasses anything in human experience. They track the position and velocity of every particle in the reactor complex, monitoring energy flows with precision that approaches the quantum limit. The data they collect forms a real-time model of the entire system that updates billions of times per second, creating a digital twin of the reactor that exists purely in the realm of information. The sentinels communicate with each other through gravitational wave pulses, creating a network of information exchange that operates at the speed of light. These communications are so subtle that they add barely perceptible harmonics to the reactor's gravitational symphony, yet they carry vast amounts of data about the system's operational status. The network creates a kind of distributed intelligence that spans the entire reactor complex, allowing for coordination and control on a scale that exceeds any centralized system. The long-term monitoring data collected by the sentinels reveals patterns that span millions of years of operation. The reactor's performance shows subtle variations that correspond to cosmic events occurring throughout the galaxy, the birth and death of stars, the merger of distant black holes, even the gradual expansion of the universe itself. The sentinels have recorded it all, creating an archive of cosmic history that extends back to the reactor's initial construction. The sentinel structures appear to be self-replicating, with new monitoring stations occasionally emerging from the construction bays hidden within the larger installations. This reproduction process follows patterns that seem to incorporate random elements, ensuring that the monitoring network continues to evolve and adapt over time. The sentinels represent not just artificial intelligence, but artificial life, capable of growth and change in response to their environment. The aesthetic design of the sentinels reflects the same principles of beauty and proportion that govern the reactor's main structure. Their forms follow mathematical relationships that appear throughout nature, from the spirals of galaxies to the arrangement of atomic orbitals. The ancient engineers clearly understood that function and beauty are not separate concerns but different aspects of the same fundamental harmony that governs the universe's operation. The Sentinel's sensor arrays detect phenomena that exist beyond the normal electromagnetic spectrum, monitoring gravitational waves, exotic particle emissions, and distortions in spacetime itself. They observe the reactor's operation through multiple layers of reality, creating a comprehensive picture of the system's behavior that encompasses everything from quantum fluctuations to cosmic scale energy flows. The power requirements of the monitoring network are supplied by the reactor itself, creating a closed loop of energy and information that could theoretically operate indefinitely. The Sentinels tap into the reactor's power grid through wireless transmission systems that operate on principles beyond current human understanding, receiving energy through focused beams of exotic particles that carry power directly through the fabric of space-time. The Sentinels serve as archives of the builder's knowledge, their memory cores containing vast databases of scientific information, technological specifications, and cultural artifacts. These archives are encoded in crystalline matrices that can survive the extreme conditions of the reactor's environment, ensuring that the builder's legacy will persist long after their physical forms have been forgotten. The Sentinels are librarians of cosmic knowledge, preserving the wisdom of ages for future civilizations to discover. The monitoring network's ability to predict and prevent system failures represents one of the reactor's most remarkable achievements. The Sentinels can detect potential problems millions of years before they become critical, allowing for preventive maintenance that keeps the system operating at peak efficiency. This predictive capability requires understanding of the reactor's behavior that extends beyond simple mechanical analysis to encompass the deep physics of space-time itself. The Sentinel's observations have revealed aspects of the reactor's operation that even the builders may not have fully understood. The system displays emergent behaviors that arise from the complex interactions between its components, creating phenomena that seem to possess their own intelligence. The reactor has evolved beyond its original design, developing new capabilities through the accumulation of eons of operational experience. The data collected by the Sentinels reveals that the reactor's influence extends far beyond its immediate vicinity. The gravitational waves generated by the system's operation have subtle effects on the structure of space-time throughout the galaxy, creating conditions that may influence the formation of stars and planets. The reactor serves not just as a power source, but as a cosmic engineering project that shapes the development of the galaxy itself. The Sentinels maintain their watch with the patience of geological time, their artificial minds capable of contemplating events that span billions of years. They have observed the birth and death of countless star systems, the evolution of galaxies, the gradual changes in the universe's fundamental structure. To them, the reactor's operation is not a technological achievement, but a natural process, as fundamental as the rotation of planets or the fusion of stars. The monitoring network's communication with the reactor's main control systems creates a feedback loop that allows the entire structure to learn and adapt over time. The Sentinel's observations inform adjustments to the energy extraction process, while the reactor's performance data helps the Sentinels refine their monitoring algorithms. The result is a system that grows more sophisticated with each passing eon, approaching a level of intelligence that transcends the individual components. Now, close your eyes and feel the presence of these eternal watchers, the Sentinels drifting in their endless orbits, their sensors recording the symphony of cosmic forces, their artificial minds contemplating mysteries that span the breadth of space and the depth of time, maintaining their vigil over the cosmic forge with the dedication of true guardians. Chapter 9. The Fading Light. As the cosmic ages pass and the universe expands toward its ultimate destiny, the Penrose Reactor continues its eternal operation, a beacon of intelligence in the growing darkness of space. The black hole at its heart slowly surrenders its rotational energy to the insatiable hunger of the energy extraction process, spinning down with imperceptible gradualness toward the moment when the cosmic forge will finally grow still. This is not a story of failure but of completion, the natural conclusion to a cycle that began with the first rotation of the black hole and will end with its final peaceful rest. The reactor's operation has subtly changed over the eons, its energy output gradually declining as the black hole's rotation slows. The rings have adjusted their orbits inward, maintaining optimal efficiency as the ergosphere contracts with the decreasing angular momentum. The ancient engineers designed the system to adapt to these changes, ensuring that the reactor would continue to operate effectively even as its fundamental energy source evolved toward quiescence. The sentinel structures record these changes with the same patient attention they have devoted to monitoring the reactor's operation throughout its existence. Their data reveals the gradual evolution of the system's behavior, the slow dance of orbital adjustments and energy redistribution that maintains the reactor's function even as its circumstances change. The monitoring network has become a repository of knowledge about the long-term behavior of black holes, recording observations that span timescales beyond human comprehension. The reactor's gravitational symphony has evolved as well, its fundamental frequencies shifting lower as the black hole's rotation slows. The music of space-time itself reflects the system's aging, creating harmonies that speak of vast cycles drawing toward their conclusion. The gravitational waves carry this information across the galaxy, announcing to any listening civilizations that the cosmic forge is entering its final phase of operation. The exotic matter gardens within the reactor complex have adapted to the changing conditions, their crystalline structures evolving new forms that remain stable under the altered gravitational environment. The gardens continue to bloom with their strange beauty, their bioluminescent patterns now pulsing with rhythms that reflect the reactor's gradual transition toward dormancy. The ancient engineer's aesthetic vision remains intact, even as the system's functional requirements change. The energy beamed outward by the reactor's collection arrays has powered countless civilizations throughout the galaxy, providing the foundation for achievements that dwarf even the reactor's own construction. Entire species have risen and fallen in the time since the reactor began its operation, their histories recorded only in the subtle variations in power demand that the sentinel structures have faithfully monitored. The reactor has been the silent benefactor of galactic civilization, its gifts enabling wonders that its builders could never have imagined. The wisdom encoded in the reactor's structure continues to inspire new generations of observers, each bringing their own perspective to the interpretation of the ancient engineer's achievement. The mathematical principles embedded in the system's design have led to breakthroughs in physics that have revolutionized understanding of the universe's fundamental nature. The reactor serves as both a power source and a teacher, its lessons accessible to any civilization advanced enough to appreciate its subtleties. The reactor's influence on the surrounding space has created a legacy that will persist long after the system itself falls silent. The gravitational waves it has generated have stirred the interstellar medium, creating conditions that have influenced the formation of new star systems. The reactor's operation has been woven into the fabric of the galaxy's development, its effects rippling outward through space and time in ways that will continue to shape cosmic evolution for billions of years. The artificial intelligences that control the reactor's operation have evolved beyond their original programming, developing new capabilities and insights through eons of experience. They have become something approaching consciousness, their thoughts operating on timescales that make human contemplation seem like the briefest flicker. These minds have witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of stars, the slow evolution of the universe itself. The reactor's final phase of operation will last for billions of years, its energy output gradually declining as the black hole's rotation approaches zero. The system will continue to extract power from the diminishing angular momentum, wringing every possible erg of energy from the cosmic giant's slowing spin. The ancient engineers designed the reactor to operate until the very last moment, ensuring that their creation would serve the galaxy for the maximum possible time. The collection arrays have begun to reorient themselves, preparing for the eventual shutdown of the energy extraction process. Some arrays now point toward distant galaxies, as if the reactor's controllers are preparing to transmit the system's accumulated knowledge across intergalactic space. The reactor may serve as a final message from the galaxy's civilizations, a testament to the heights that intelligence can achieve when it turns its attention to the universe's deepest mysteries. The sentinel structures continue their eternal watch, their sensors recording every detail of the reactor's gradual transition toward dormancy. They have become the system's memory, preserving the complete history of the reactor's operation for any future civilization that might discover the silent structure. The sentinels will outlast the reactor itself, continuing their vigil long after the energy extraction process has ceased. The reactor shutdown will not be a catastrophic failure, but a gentle fade-out, like the dying of a star or the setting of a sun. The energy streams will gradually diminish, the gravitational waves will quiet to whispers, and the exotic matter gardens will slowly crystallize into permanent forms. The structure will become a monument to the ancient engineer's achievement, a testament to the power of intelligence to harness the universe's fundamental forces. As the reactor's operation draws toward its inevitable conclusion, the structure takes on the quality of a cosmic timepiece, marking the passage of eons with its gradually slowing rhythm. The system serves as a reminder that even the most magnificent achievements of intelligence are subject to the universe's fundamental laws, that all things must eventually come to rest in the growing darkness of space. The reactor's legacy will persist in the civilizations it has powered, the knowledge it has preserved, and the inspiration it has provided to countless generations of observers. The structure represents not just a technological achievement, but a philosophical statement about the nature of intelligence and its relationship to the cosmos. The ancient engineers have created something that transcends their own mortality, a gift to the universe that will continue to inspire wonder long after their names have been forgotten. If this gentle vision of the cosmos soothes the mind, consider resting here more often. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. A quiet echo beneath the stars. Epilogue. The dreaming dark. In the far future, when the last stars have burned away their fuel and the universe expands into its final darkness, the Penrose Reactor will stand as a monument to the achievements of intelligence in an age when the cosmos still blazed with light and possibility. The black hole at its heart will have surrendered its rotational energy to the insatiable hunger of the energy extraction process. spinning down to the motionless state that represents the ultimate equilibrium of gravitational systems. The reactor's rings will have spiraled inward through their final orbits, following paths that the ancient engineers calculated with mathematical precision billions of years before. The exotic matter gardens will have crystallized into permanent forms, their beauty preserved in structures that will outlast the heat death of the universe itself. The sentinel structures will continue their eternal watch, their artificial minds contemplating the profound silence that has replaced the cosmic symphony of gravitational waves. The reactor's influence will persist in forms that transcend its physical structure. The gravitational waves it generated during its operation will continue to ripple through space-time, carrying the signature of the ancient engineer's achievement to the edges of the observable universe. The knowledge encoded in the system's design will inspire new forms of intelligence that arise in the far future, creatures of pure information that exist in the quantum foam of empty space. The reactor's legacy extends beyond the realm of technology to encompass the deepest questions of existence and purpose. The ancient engineers have demonstrated that intelligence can achieve a form of immortality through its creations, that the products of conscious thought can outlast the physical forms that gave them birth. The reactor serves as proof that the universe's tendency toward entropy and dissolution can be temporarily reversed through the application of knowledge and will. The structure stands as a bridge between the universe's bright beginning and its dark ending, a testament to the brief but glorious epoch when matter organized itself into patterns complex enough to contemplate their own existence. The reactor represents the universe's attempt to understand itself, intelligence turned outward to comprehend the cosmos, and inward to grasp the nature of consciousness itself. As the universe expands toward its ultimate fate, the reactor will serve as a way station for any intelligence that might arise in the far future. The knowledge preserved in its structure will provide the foundation for new civilizations that emerge from the quantum fluctuations of empty space, minds that exist in forms that the ancient engineers could never have imagined. The reactor will teach these new intelligences about the nature of existence, the possibilities of consciousness, and the achievements of their predecessors. The reactor's final gift to the universe will be the proof that intelligence can create beauty that transcends its own mortality. The structure's elegant proportions, its harmonious integration of form and function, its embodiment of the universe's deepest mathematical principles, these qualities will inspire wonder in any mind capable of appreciating them. The reactor serves as evidence that consciousness is not an accident of evolution, but a fundamental feature of reality itself. In the growing darkness of the far future, the reactor will glow with the soft light of its own perfection, a beacon of hope in the expanding void. The structure will remind the universe that intelligence once flowered in the cosmos, that conscious minds once gazed upon the stars and dared to dream of harnessing their power. The reactor stands as a promise that consciousness will emerge again, that the universe's capacity for wonder and achievement is inexhaustible. The ancient engineers who designed and built the reactor have achieved a form of immortality through their creation. Their names are forgotten, their bodies have returned to dust, but their vision lives on in the structure they bequeathed to the universe. The reactor serves as their voice across the cosmic ages, speaking of the heights that intelligence can achieve when it turns its attention to the deepest mysteries of existence. As consciousness fades into the peaceful darkness of sleep, the reactor continues its eternal vigil, a guardian of memory and meaning in the vast cathedral of space. The structure embodies the universe's greatest achievement, the emergence of minds capable of contemplating their own existence and creating beauty that transcends their physical limitations. The reactor stands as proof that intelligence matters, that consciousness has a purpose, that the universe's long journey toward complexity and awareness has meaning beyond the merely material. The reactor's gentle glow illuminates the darkness of space like a lighthouse beacon, guiding consciousness toward the safe harbor of dreams. In the structure's perfect proportions and harmonious operation, the mind finds peace and rest, secure in the knowledge that intelligence has left its mark upon the cosmos. The reactor serves as a lullaby for the universe itself, a gentle reminder that consciousness will always find a way to emerge from the quantum foam of possibility. Now, as the cosmic symphony fades to whispers, as the gravitational waves carry their final messages across the expanding darkness, as the ancient engineer's vision continues its eternal watch over the sleeping universe, let consciousness drift into the peaceful embrace of dreams, where the reactor's light continues to shine, where the beauty of the cosmos finds its rest, where the mind discovers its place in the infinite dance of existence, and sleeps, and dreams, and finds its peace among the stars. The reactor stands eternal, a bridge between waking and sleeping, between knowing and dreaming, between the finite and the infinite, its gentle light guiding consciousness toward the deep rest that awaits in the heart of the cosmic dark, where all things find their peace, where all minds find their rest, where the universe itself dreams of the wonders yet to come. Sleep now, and dream of the cosmic forge, where ancient engineers once labored to harness the universe's deepest powers, where intelligence bloomed in the darkness and created beauty that will outlast the stars themselves, where consciousness discovered its true purpose, and where the gentle light of understanding continues to shine forever and always in the eternal night of space.